Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? This is Erick here for Fast the Human, and I'm back. And definitely one thing that I will suggest every single day: stay fasted, my friend. One of the things that is necessary for your body to make changes in a constant basis, especially if you're new to fasting. If you are constantly looking for fixing the problems you have physically, mentally, emotionally, one thing that I definitely suggest: start fasting. So let's jump into what the show is all about. If you have any questions, especially for people on Spotify, you can comment below. Here's the YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe on the YouTube channel, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so on and so forth. So I'm here having some water with lemon. And so we're gonna jump in. This is my Star Wars Luke Skywalker helmet. Anyways, so jumping into a new episode, I wanted to definitely come into the learning process and the journey that I've been going through. One thing I can tell you is still working out, still training hard, making sure that I am constantly just practicing what I preach. It's been one of the things that I think I can tell you, it's been a while since it's the last time I did a podcast, and that's just because it's a schedule conflicts with new things that I'm working on. And trust me, I can't wait to show you the new changes and new things that's gonna come in into Fast the Human, the podcast, and the change that is coming soon. So I look forward to that. I was trying to make sure that that I get the most out of it. So let's jump into this podcast and what it's all about. And so definitely one thing that I want to tap is into the bad cycles, or the bad habits and bad cycles that you go through in order to stay healthy, right? I have done that myself. I have gone through where I have, lost the weight, gained the weight, lose the weight. I found the fasting is a tool for me that it kind of solo helps enhance this process of maintaining my weight or my body weight to what is supposed to be. So one of the things that I try to constantly talk about is the sleep patterns, and so is the habits you have on your eating patterns. Not everybody has the same schedules. Nobody has, but we all have the same 24 hours. The reason being when I say this is because when we are stuck in a cycle where we continue gaining weight, it has to do a lot with stress levels in regards of jobs, in regards of, being a parent, or whatever the case may be that you are going through right now. Is those reasons for what I look forward to be able to help every single individual. And so my thing to you, if you never have the chance to try to get the most out of your fitness, reasons being is you're doing too much cardio, for example, right? You're doing too much of a thing that is just not helping the goals that you're looking for. So my suggestion to you is stay focused in order and try to make sure that you're consistent at least 3 times a week for strength training, at least once a week, do some cardio, and all of it depends, so the most important thing that I always suggest is your windows of eating. If you're trying to build muscle and you're trying to maintain lean muscle mass, my suggestion is about 2 meals, especially if you're doing an OMAD, or you're doing a little bit of intermittent fasting on a constant basis. My suggestion is stay within a 5 to 6 hour window. Consistency of eating sporadically all the time is not the best option, especially when it comes down to bodybuilding. But I'm not gonna be talk about bodybuilding because I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm just a 46-year-old guy who is trying to stay fit and make sure that focus on longevity factor. And the most important thing that I suggest to every client that I deal with is that try to make sure that you're sleeping better, because you need that energy. You need You're making sure that you're getting back after probably not sleeping your best over the week. Try to sleep at least, making sure you sleep about those 8 to 9 hours of sleep. So when you are looking to get off these habits, which I'm going to talk about, it's interesting because I have to deal with this every single day, and the fact that we have individuals that struggle with the fact that are looking to get better on their lifestyle. They struggle with this thing, which is, I call it addiction. We are addicted to sugar. We are addicted to a specific carbohydrates. We are addicted to this, and so letting it go is pretty hard. And trust me, I went through it with soda, for example. Went back in 2010 when I was trying to get fit and trying to be more conscious of what I was putting in my body. Definitely one of the hardest things to be able to stop from drinking soda. So one of the things I did, I started switching to mineral water. I started switching, instead of drinking, constantly, coffee with cream. I changed it completely. I started little by little staying away from the cream, stay away from the sugar, and eventually I just drink black coffee. So imagine you're trying your body to try to be more healthy, and you're still having kind of sort of the same thing, eating the same junk food. So one of the things is try to substitute as much as you can, having these kind of junk foods, right? And so the focus to this is surround yourself with people that are doing the same thing you're doing. I started listening to a lot of more of the carnivore side, but at the same time, there's a specific carbohydrates that is being eating, especially fruit coming from fruits. I try to stay away, like mangoes, papaya, pineapple, and fruits that has a skin on it that you can peel them off, and you just actual fruit. And so same thing with my food intake. My protein is based on chicken, fish, and so I tell you this much: when it comes down to making sure that I'm seeing the progress and the gains that I'm looking for, is based on what you put in your body. And what a lot of things that I see a lot of people doing is not doing that what is they're supposed to do with training, with strength training. So there's no consistency in there, and there's no consistency on the eating patterns or the fasting protocols or the OMAD. There's no consistency to it, so they start struggling, and so they go out of it's kind of out of hand in regards to trying to get the most out of their fitness level, or trying to lose body fat, which is kind of sort of the most detrimental thing that you can do into the body. And so imagine you're brand new to fasting. Obviously, the first thing you'll say, like, you got to stop eating. Basically, your body will start utilizing what is in store, and just like that, your mindset needs to start utilizing what you can be able to do when you start surrounding yourself with positive people. This is what I tell a lot of my clients, is you can't surround yourself with the same people that been doing the same thing you've been doing. So it's just kind of start step back a little bit. It's nothing. That's not that they are bad people. It's just that they have bad habits, and those bad habits kind of sort of like you're still kind of in it, and trying to lingering with this same eating patterns that they have. And so this, and it's necessarily that it's not, they just don't know any better. Just like me, when I was constantly eating all these processed foods, then it will have a repercussion later on. Being 34 years old, being the fact that I gained 240, almost 80 pounds over my actual weight, that I was gonna put a detrimental side in my body. So going back to those bad habits that I have from drinking soda, eating junk food, it was just a thing that I needed to stop. Eventually, you have to stop, and have to allow with results. And one of the things I tell people is, if you want to see results, you need to create accountability. The accountability factor comes from pictures, videos, and following an app, being in a group. And so that can make a huge difference when it comes down to that result factor. I know people suffer from type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension, and all these things are were created by those bad habits. Gaining weight doesn't happen overnight. It always happens from that lifestyle that you have. And that lifestyle that you have, it has created the problem that you have at hand right now. It's just like you're trying to figure out, why am I continue gaining weight? I'm going to the gym, but probably you're not sleeping better. Probably you're not getting enough sleep. Probably you're not going outside in the sun and enjoy the sunlight and to get a vitamin D. Maybe you're deficiency of things that you're not getting proper nutrition. And so one of the things that I listen to, for example, Carnivore ND, and why is this bullshit, right? Why is this? It's because there's a lot of research done. It's a lot of things that we're learning more about the foods that we put into our bodies, the things that we think that are healthy, not necessarily are the best for your body, and the things that you thought you're doing right. So you learn from these things. A lot of these companies don't really care, on what the ingredients they put into these foods, because at the end of the day, they only want to profit from this purchase just because it says it's healthy, or it says, keto, or it says this and that. That necessarily is not the best for you. And this is one of the things that you gotta read the labels, check out the labels, make sure there is no seed oils, there is no vegetable oils, there's none of that stuff, because then you're gonna create more inflammation in your gut, inflammation in your body. That's the last thing you want, right? So let's go back again to the habits. Why would you want to continue eating these foods and it's making you sick, right? Why would you want to continue feeling this way again and again and again? You created the habits, you need to stop. And this is one of the things I kind of learned from listening to, every individual person that I deal with. So it's because you created this, you need to get out of it. There's no way, shape or form you're gonna be able to get out of it if you continue be in it, and it's just a cycle. You're in it, and you just don't know how to get out of it. And this is one of the reasons why you need to try something else different. And fasting is another option. And carnivore is an option that I suggest that you go start eating lean meats. I remember back in Peru, I used to eat a lot of liver. The reason being, what I'm sharing a little bit about what I did before and what I'm doing back again now, is that sometimes we don't recognize what something is good until you continue the practice of that something is good, because it's a process. It didn't happen overnight where you're physically fit, right? Because it happens for a specific amount of time. It takes about a year, 2 years to be physically fit, stronger, more muscle. You look leaner, you look fantastic. And the reason being is because you follow a process, you follow a protocol, you follow a trajectory of things that you wanted to do right from the beginning when you started your fitness journey, and just being healthy overall, right? There's nothing like being healthy and knowing that you're progressing to be stronger, and you're progressing to be feeling much better, is because you're started becoming the practice, and you're becoming that tool, and you became constantly much more aware of what is necessary for your body. And so the reason being why I shared this is because we all have these bad habits that we need to stop, and we don't know how to. And that the reason sometimes what becomes in the struggle is because you're not being consistent, and consistency and accountability. Motivation is flaky, and I'll tell you this much because I have been talking about motivation, and motivation is great, but then motivation can dissipate very quick. Accountability is everything. If you don't know what you're doing at the gym, get a personal trainer. I suggest this because sometimes it sucks when somebody gets hurt, they don't know what they're doing. And my suggestion is get a personal trainer, get a structure, because when you have a personal trainer, you get a structure. You're kind of sort of, okay, hey, I have a schedule with the trainer. I got to be there. I have to be there in a specific time. And you already know your schedule. You got the same 24 hours just like everybody else. But when you are, and this is the biggest tip that says, when you are in it, when you sign up for that personal training sessions and everything else, you are creating that schedule. And sometimes it might not be easy, but you gotta understand that your time is just as much as important as their time, and they are there for a reason to help you create this accountability. If you don't have it, if you don't have accountability, if you don't have consistency, you need a personal trainer. My suggestion, I mean, if you cannot be consistent with programs like, doing on home videos or stuff like that, you're not consistent, then you have to create consistency or try once or twice a week doing it at home, because you're not being consistent. I'm telling you, as a coach, I never did a video workout ever in my life when I first started it, and I said, this is ridiculous. Why would I want to do it at home? But that's because if you don't got the money to be able to get a personal trainer, the cheapest way will be having a coach or a program, online program, right? Which I can recommend you so many of them that are very, very good to actually help you enhance the process of burning fat, enhance the process of staying healthy. But that's what I said to people. I said, if you're not signing up for the 5K, if you're not signing up for the 10K, you're not signing up for a half marathon, you will never know what it's like until you actually do it, until actually you sign up for it. It's, don't look at the money aspect, because I know you look at the first thing you look at, oh my God, this is expensive, but you are an investment. Every single time you're trying to be the best version of yourself, you're just an investment again and again and again. Every single time you're investing on yourself. So if you don't know what you're doing, you might as well go ahead and jump in and get a trainer, get a coach. It's necessary. And that's the reason why I share my personal journey. How did I lose 80 pounds, right? And I'm 46 years old right now, and I'm trying to stay lean. I'm trying to stay lifting weights. I'm starting back again, lifting heavy weights again. I try to train between 5 to 6 days per week, and making sure that I'm consistent with them, make sure that I'm sleeping better. But those habits needs the structure to change. The structure of you changing from the people you surround yourself with, start surrounding the people that are actually coming in, actually doing what you want to do. There's no way you're gonna continually be living the same lifestyle if you don't try to jump in and change. I know a lot of people out there, they struggle because they keep surrounded to the same thing. Maybe, I know sometimes, and I said this, sometimes maybe your job is the thing that, that is just drowning you with so much stress, and sometimes that does help pay your bills, but in reality it's not helping you on your health. Your whole entire being of who you are is driven by your body, who you are as a person and what you're trying to do. And I'm pretty sure you have listened to Gary Vee. I don't know if you follow Gary Vee, but I listened to the fact that you can start creating your life. Maybe you have your 9 to 5, right? And you need to move on and say, hey, listen, I need to get off of this, but I need to start working on this. Don't just quit and just say, boom, I'm out of here. No, find something that you love to do and start moving little by little towards that something that you love to do. Same thing. I know maybe it's detrimental. Alcohol is detrimental. Smoking is detrimental. But no one can fight that battle for you if you don't do it yourself. You have to fight the battle of being able to conquer those bad habits. And so those bad habits is going to start slowing you down to your fitness goal, to look at young or feeling better about yourself. It is just the fact of the matter that you got to do something about it. Trust me, it's not easy. I know, I've been there, but you have to be able to accomplish every single day, little baby steps that you're doing, you accomplish something new, right? So the idea to fasting is scary. It's more scary finding out that you have more issues in your body than you ever thought. So imagine being 34 years old, like me, right? I was 34 years old, and I have type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension, and I was just 34. And I was just like, this is not happening to me. I need to make a change. And so this is the reason why I'm sharing this, and you're listening to the podcast. Trust me, it's gonna take some time, but just surround yourself. These bad habits will go away if you put the foot forward. And the idea to this is that you making those changes. Trust. At the beginning, I learned so many things. I made so many mistakes. And I learned from those mistakes. I'm more conscious to, that the fact that, hey, we're not perfect. So the only thing you are going to do is take that baby step again and again and again. And you'll see the results. You'll start noticing the results. At the beginning, yes, you're gonna ask questions. Why is so hard? It is hard because your body has inflammation, you're overweight, it is hard, you haven't practiced, you haven't done anything. Think of it, you're a brand new born baby. You're brand new, you're crawling, you're getting your foot forward, and you're just becoming it's just brand new to you, right? So everything is brand new to you. It's just that you need to be able to push the body to the next level. Trust me, it's not easy, but the most important thing is that you're doing something about it. I think those bad habits that is slowing you down, especially on your health and wellness and your ability to be the best version of you, it's just based on the fact that you need to have a coach, a personal trainer, so that we can change little by little those structures, and you're gonna start feeling better about yourself. It's an investment. Remember, every single day you're investing on yourself, and that investment will pay off if you stick with it. Trust me. Once again, if you have any questions, you can follow me, and I'm gonna share some links in the space below. And don't forget to subscribe. You can be able to send me a subscription. Give me a thumbs up. You can do a nice, awesome review if you want. How do you like this podcast or this YouTube? You can do a review on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. And just wanted to kind of share the thing that I'm doing right now to stay healthy. Yes, and sometimes you gotta step out of the box. Sometimes it's necessary, so that way you can be able to be the best version of you. So with that said, guys, have a blessed day. I'm gonna talk to you soon. Coming soon for another episode. Bye-bye.